Nico, you done fucked up. You done fucked up, Nico. Quite literally, I can't even explain what the fuck happened the past few hours. Like, honestly, I can't even explain what has happened the past few hours. Luka Doncic got traded to the Los Angeles Lakers? What? This came out of the bloom. This was so unexpected. There was no rumors throughout the entire season that Luka wants out. Luka is the type of guy that tries to stay with this franchise throughout his entire career. All right, this is like if a superstar, let's say, or compares this to NFL, like Joe Burrow randomly getting traded in the middle of the season, and that's crazy. But what's even more crazy is the package they got in return. Nico messed up. And this is quite possibly the worst trade I have personally ever seen in NBA history due to the context of the whole thing. All right. You're trading away Anthony Davis, who is 31, going to 32 years old, who is been heavily injury prone throughout his entire career. All right, sure, that's fine. Then you trade away Max Christie, who was a decent role player that's played well for the Lakers, who started a few games for them. All right, sure, and one first round pick. That's it. That's it for fucking Luka Doncic. That's it for Luka Doncic. And he didn't even request trade. This came out of the bloom. And what Nico said in his press conferences that he said defense wins championships. That was one thing I heard. Another thing I heard of, they want to go into win now mode, which, all right, cool. But also, he was worried, and Dallas has turned on Luka because of his conditionings. Conditionings. Fuck that. Fuck that. That's a dumb excuse. Fuck that excuse. Nico, what the fuck are you doing? That's one of. This guy just got to the NBA Finals last year. You guys made the NBA Finals for the first time since the 2011 championship. And you trade him? You blow it up. You blow it up the next season. You blow it up, and not in the offseason. You blow it up in the middle of the season, where you added guys like Najee Marshall, you added Klay Thompson, and you still have their championship core or a finals core, and you blow it up. Luka did not request a trade, but you say we're worried about his conditionings. He's gone overweight. Fuck that, bro. Fuck that. This guy took it to the finals. 1 year, not even a year has gone by, and you trade him? You trade him. That makes no sense. That is why I think this is the worst trade in NBA history, bro. For the Lakers, okay, people are going to worry about the LeBron and Luka, but fuck that. LeBron will fit with him very well. It's fine. LeBron is one of the most adjustable players in NBA history. The reason why they fit with him and Russ to not work is because Russ has a lack of a three-point jump shot, and his IQ is severely lower. And obviously, he's out of his prime. Where Luka, who has not even been in his prime yet, he's 25 years old, going into 26. He's not even in his prime yet. This is literally trading a guy who is a top 3 player in the league, who I think should have been MVP last year. You trade him to your conference rival, which makes absolutely zero sense. If you trade him to the East, okay, fine. I'll still diss you for it, but like that takes off relief on your end. But you trade him to a conference rival, the Lakers out of all teams, the Lakers. You trade him there for Anthony Davis, who is 32 years old. That's it. That's it. No disrespect to Max Christie. Anthony Davis is a great player. Anthony Davis is a very great player. Look at this Dallas core right now. Anthony Davis is a great player. And you have Kyrie Irving as your second option. They're saying they want to run a 2 big man lineup like the Cavs. Here's my problem with this, all right? You don't have that lead number 1 guy on this team. Kyrie Irving cannot be a number 1 option guy on a championship team. Anthony Davis, he is too inconsistent. You had Luka. You had those guys, and then you had Luka Doncic, who is obviously a number 1 lead option guy in the championship team. And you trade him because of conditioning issues and you want to have more defense. That makes absolutely zero sense. This is the worst trade in NBA history. For me personally, this is the worst trade I've ever seen. I wanted to make this video right away as soon as the trade happened, but I had to really look into it. And I can't say anything about Dallas. I feel so bad for Mavs fans. They don't deserve this. This is why I'm wearing blue. They don't deserve this. They don't deserve this at all. They don't deserve this at all. You don't trade your superstar player like that out of the bloom. You don't do that. And a guy like Luka, who is a generational talent, Luka is already a Hall of Famer. He has a Hall of Fame resume. He's going to go down as a top 15 player this league has ever seen. And you trade him? You trade him after you got to the finals. After you got to the NBA finals. Okay, let's look at it. 2023, injuries happened, I guess. 2022 got you to the conference finals, where it was an unexpected run because they defeated a 64-win team on their way to the conference finals. Yeah, that series was kind of lackluster against the Warriors, but bro, he took you to the conference finals in year 4. Playoff appearances against the Clippers, he's always gone off. He's one of the greatest playoff performers in NBA history. And you trade him. You trade him just like that? That makes no sense. That makes absolutely zero sense. Nico is quite possibly the worst GM I've ever seen in my entire life. The Lakers just completely got fleeced because this is insane. Yes, you lose Anthony Davis. Yes, you need that rim protection. Go get a big. The thing is, the trade deadline is not over. So you still have multiple assets. You still have your first round pick, your other first round pick. If they gave it away, there's other first round pick. Yeah, this trade would make a little bit more sense. But they were able to give up only one. The Mavs also just lost by 45 today to the Cleveland Cavaliers after the trade just happened. You know, this is insane. Like, this doesn't even make sense at all. This doesn't make sense at all. I heard that the Mavs page, they lost over 1 million followers. Like, Slovenia fans, like, there's a huge fan in Europe. There's a huge fan base in Europe that was fans of Dallas because of Luka. They're going to leave you. So for business purposes, for marketing purposes, like, you just get rid of that out of nowhere. This makes no sense. Man, this is such a silly trade. This is the worst trade I've ever seen. People say the SGA Paul George trade is the worst trade of all time. I don't say that. For the current base and future point, I guess future wise, yes, obviously, we did not expect Shea to be this kind of a player, though. I will say this. Nobody expected it. I did not expect Shea to be this good. Yeah, I expected him to be an all-star, but not a MVP candidate, the front runner for MVP this year. I did not expect that at all. And Paul George was coming off an MVP season where he finished third place in MVP, and they traded him to the Clippers, who they just got Kawhi Leonard, who just led his team to the championship. And they're trying to go win a championship in LA. So I can't say that's the worst trade of all time. This one makes absolutely zero sense. It literally makes zero sense for a current point and for the future, because you don't have a Kawhi Leonard on the Clippers. I mean, on the Mavs. You don't have that kind of a player on the Mavs. You don't have that at all. Anthony Davis, as great as he is, I don't think you can win with him as the number one guy. Yeah, you could say statistically he averaged better stats than LeBron in 2020, but that's kind of not true. Everyone knew LeBron was the best player on the championship team in 2020. And look at it now. They have not had that much success since. So now you trade for a guy who just took his team to the NBA Finals. And, I mean, you still have all your other assets. You still have Reeves. They didn't even give up Austin Reeves, which makes no sense. When I saw the trade in detail, the blockbuster parts were Anthony Davis swapped with Luka. I was like, okay, they got to get rid of Austin Reeves because there's no way they were able to keep him. Turns out they did. I don't care if he's missed over a month. You still try to ask for as much assets as possible for a quality player like Luka. They didn't. The Lakers completely fleeced them in this trade, bro. The Mavs done it to themselves. I feel bad for Mavs fans. They don't deserve. They hosted like a funeral at American Airlines Center earlier today. They hosted like a funeral for Luka's departure. They're boycotting the team. There was a protest. About selling the team earlier. I saw clips on that on Twitter. Look at it now, man. I feel bad for Mavs fans. They don't deserve this at all. You know, that fan base has been revived post-Dirk era with Luka arriving, and he was your future guy. He turned out to be a really damn good player. He took your team to the NBA Finals, so close to beating the Celtics. The Celtics were just a better team, unfortunately, but it sucks. I feel so bad for them. They don't deserve this. Their front office, it's a complete joke. Jason Kidd, the press conference pre the Mavs and Cavs game, Jason Kidd looked surprised. There's literally clips of Jason Kidd looking surprised as he found out the same way we all found out. Man, bro, I feel so bad for Mavs fans, though. They don't deserve this. The players don't deserve this. You know, it was completely on the front office. This is an absolute joke, bro. It's actually a joke. Like, I actually cannot believe this trade actually happened. I can't believe it. This is actually insane, man. Where we live in an era where there's people compare this to the Chris Paul trade to the Lakers, where that trade got vetoed actually. This one did not get vetoed. And the NBA owned the New Orleans Hornets at the time. So they kind of had control of that. That's why they vetoed it. It still doesn't make any sense. I wish I saw Chris Paul and Kobe teamed up. That would have been kind of fun. But we kind of get to see it now with LeBron and Luka. Obviously, LeBron is not that kind of a player anymore, but you kind of get to see that now. And yeah, there's a whole discourse of, oh, they both need the ball. They're going to be selfish. We've heard the discourse so many times with James Harden and Kyrie Irving teamed up together. It turned out it worked, even though injuries happened and Harden wanted out. And then look at Luka and Kyrie. People say, oh, they're going to be dribbling a lot. It worked. They got them to the NBA Finals. So now that you have LeBron, who is better than Kyrie Irving, and you add Luka fucking Doncic to that, that's insane. The playmaking IQ charts is going to go off the roof. Plus, you have Austin Reeves. Off the charts, yes, they're missing a big, but they could still get a big. They have so many assets. I mean, you could trade away Rui Hachimura. You could trade away, you have so many assets, who I can think of as well. Even Dalton Connect, you could try to trade him as well. You still have your first round pick. So the Lakers are not done. They still could do more post this trade, man. And they're set for the future. They're set for now, and they're set for the future. The Mavs, they're a great team. They're going to be a really good team this season for probably like 2 or 3 years. And that's about it. Where the Lakers are set for the next 10 plus years. The Lakers are set. They got their number one guy. They got their guy in Luka, man. Post LeBron James era, they got their guy in Luka. They got this is actually insane. The Mavs did it to themselves, bro. That front office completely did it to themselves. It's actually silly. It's silly. Initially, when this trade happened, bro, I thought Shams got hacked. I thought this was a crazy idea. People say this is some 2K trade. I don't even do this in 2K. I try to be more realistic because in my head, I would say this doesn't even make any sense at all, and this would never happen unless if Luka decides to request a trade. Well, I didn't expect him to do it after he just got to the finals. This is insane. This is actually ridiculous, man. And that's just the NBA, man. The NBA is a crazy place, It goes to show that no player is untouchable. It goes to show that. It's actually ridiculous. It goes to show. Not a single player in this league is untouchable. I don't hear that narrative at all. Because it's literally like if like the NFL comparison. If Joe Burrow gets traded to, let's say, hold up, I'm trying to think. If Joe Burrow gets traded to it has to be a conference rival for, I want to say divisional rival. If divisional, that would be a whole nother thing. But let's say the Buffalo Bills gets traded for that. For Josh Allen, that's it. It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, it's kind of a swap, but like none of them request a trade. But even that's kind of a bad comparison. Oh, I got a better comparison. Joe Burrow gets traded to the Los Angeles Chargers for Justin Herbert and like the 6th round pick. That's literally like it is. That's literally what it is, bro. Well, yeah, Justin Herbert is a great player, but obviously we all know Joe Burrow is a generational talent. It's like that, man. It's like if Lamar Jackson got traded like for that. That doesn't make any sense, dude. If Lamar Jackson got traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers for like Justin Fields and like a 2nd round pick. Does not make any sense at all. Does not make sense at all. Like Jokic gets traded to the Miami Heat for Bam Adebayo and Duncan Robinson and a first round pick. It's literally like that. That's literally what the comparison is like. It doesn't make any sense at all. It doesn't make sense at all. I'm just completely in utter shock right now. I had a other video that was gonna go up today, but this trade happened and it overtook that. And obviously I had to make a video on it because it's just ridiculous, man. But yeah, like I said earlier, this is the worst trade in NBA history. This is crazy. This is the worst trade in NBA history. I literally can't think of any other trade that's worse than this. People say, yeah, the only comparison I can think of is the Shea and PG trade, but like for contact wise, at that moment, it made sense because PG just came off an MVP season, and this one just makes absolutely zero sense. And yeah, man, this is crazy, bro. It's crazy. We have a crazy league. Luka really got traded before Jimmy Butler. Luka Doncic really got traded before Jimmy Butler this season. What world are we living in, man? What world are we living in? This is actually insane. People said the trade deadline was gonna be boring. I expected it to be kind of entertaining a little bit because we heard news about De'Aaron Fox potentially getting traded. Jimmy Butler's obviously gonna get traded. And now we get this. Quite possibly the craziest trade in NBA history. And the worst trade in NBA history happening in the middle of the season. Where your superstar, generational talent, franchise player gets traded. And he didn't even request a trade. This is the most insane thing I ever seen. So this might be the craziest trade deadline, the best trade deadline in NBA history. Like the Kevin Durant to Suns trade, that's probably the best trade deadline right now, in my personal opinion, because of what happened. Like Kyrie requested a trade, then Katie got traded after that. This tops it. This literally tops it, bro, because it literally came out of nowhere. It came out of zero. Like, I don't even know, man. It's a crazy trade. The Mavs are so dumb, bro. They did it to themselves. But hey, man, that's the NBA, and more's to come. So yeah, that's all I got for this video, bro. But it's insane. It's insane, man. It's an insane trade. I can't wait to watch. The first matchup against these guys are February 25th in LA. So 80 returns to Los Angeles. They play in Dallas again. Lakers play in Dallas again this year. So that's gonna be kind of interesting to see. I'm interested to see how LeBron and Luka are gonna fit well. I think they'll fit well together. I personally think they will fit fine together. Take a few games, but you know, they'll figure it out, bro. But man, dude, this is actually insane. I can't believe Luka motherfucking Doncic got traded. Man, all right, take care, y'all. I'll see y'all on another one.